The graph of a linear function is shown below. What function best represents the relationship shown in the graph? So when you're solving these problems, it's a little tricky because not much is given to you. They just go ahead and give you all these answer choices. Now, even if you don't understand the vocabulary of a graph is of a linear graph is shown, right? So you don't necessarily have to know the vocabulary for this section. What you really just have to understand is what is the rate of change. Rate of change. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for the rate of change. Now, the simplest way to get rid of the bad options are looking for your y-intercept. So if I look for my y-intercept, I'm going to quickly notice that it's actually going to go ahead and be y. So the reason for that is you're looking for y is equal to mx plus b. And when you do so, right here, your b is actually going to go ahead and be your y-intercept, right? And because of that, we already know what our y-intercept is, and it's going to be -5. So if we know that it's -5, we can go ahead and eliminate b. We can go ahead and eliminate d as our answer options, right? So those aren't going to be correct at all. We already know that for a fact. Now, a lot of students struggle with finding the m value. And obviously, x is static. We do see that on our answer choices. But a lot of students struggle to find m here. The best way that I would recommend is finding the x-intercept as well as the y-intercept, because it's actually going to be very, very similar to what we have as our answer options. And we notice that it's -3 for my x-intercept, and it's for x-intercept, it's going to go ahead and be equal to, my thing is struggling with me, -3. And then my y-intercept is y, which we already wrote down. But what we have to understand right here is that we have to put it all together. So we have to remember rise over run. Now, the reason that it becomes very complicated for some people is because they tend to think about rise as just going up. But right here, we think about rise as what's also going down. So we also have to consider rise as the fall of a run. So if we know that the fall is that I went down -5 from 0 from my starting point, my rise is actually simply going to go ahead and be -5, while I'm going to go ahead and go by 3. So even if you don't necessarily know at what rate, you can take a guess right here that your answer is actually simply going to go ahead and be y, even if you don't understand that the run is going to go ahead and be equal to -3. Or rather, it's just going to be equal to 3 because the run is always going to be statically a positive number. So we do know that if I count 3 to the right, I would simply go ahead and go 3 as my run, and I would go -5 as my rise, or my fall in this case, and I would simply go ahead and plug in my numbers or my values as my rise is -5 and my run is 3, and that's how I find the answer to be C. Sorry for it being really messy. Hopefully that was a good explanation.